When you've built your life around someone, you never imagine they could destroy it piece by piece. For years, I believed my wife, Amanda, and I were a team. We struggled together, built a home, raised memories that I thought were unshakable. But what I didn't realize was that while I was working late nights and putting in overtime to secure our future, she was weaving lies in the shadows. It started subtly. Amanda became distant, less affectionate, always preoccupied with her phone. When I'd ask her what was wrong, she'd brush me off with excuses, stress fatigue, just needing space. I believed her. I wanted to believe her. But the cracks in our marriage only grew deeper. Then came the money problems. Large withdrawals from our joint account. Strange credit card bills for items I'd never seen. When I confronted her, she flipped the blame on me, claiming I was careless with finances, that I didn't trust her enough. I let it slide, until I noticed one detail she couldn't explain away. Transfers sent directly to a man named Victor. I didn't know who Victor was at first. But soon enough, his name became a haunting echo in my life. I checked Amanda's messages one night when she fell asleep with her phone in her hand. There it was in plain sight, her calling him my love, plotting a future together, and laughing about how easy it would be to drain me dry before walking away. The plan was simple. She would divorce me, take half of everything, and start a new life with him. The part that burned the most wasn't just the betrayal, it was how calculated it all was. Every smile she gave me, every I love you, was nothing more than a mask. But what Amanda didn't know was that she had underestimated me. If she thought she could scam me out of my dignity and my future, she was about to learn a lesson she'd never forget. The next few days I played along. I acted oblivious, the clueless husband too blinded by love to see what was right in front of him. Amanda thought she had me exactly where she wanted. Trusting, distracted, and financially vulnerable. What she didn't realize was that I had already started digging deeper. I contacted a friend of mine who worked in IT security. With his help, I traced the email exchanges between Amanda and Victor. What I uncovered made my stomach churn. Not only were they romantically involved, but they had built a detailed plan for my downfall. She'd file for divorce, claim I was abusive and irresponsible, and walk away with the house, the savings, and every asset I had worked my whole life for. Victor even bragged about how stupid men never see it coming. That's when I decided. If they wanted a game, I'd give them one. Quietly, I met with a lawyer and shifted the majority of my assets into a trust under my sister's name. The house title, the investment accounts, even my business shares. One by one, I secured them legally out of Amanda's reach. On paper, I looked broke. In reality, everything was safe. Meanwhile, Amanda grew bolder. She would stay out late, come home with excuses that barely made sense, and drop hints about how we weren't working anymore. I could see the divorce papers coming long before she handed them to me. And when she did, she smiled, like she had finally won. But I stayed calm. I signed the papers without hesitation, watching confusion flicker across her face. She expected me to fight, to beg, to lose my temper. Instead, I simply said, "If that's what you want, Amanda, then so be it." What she didn't know was that she had just walked into a trap of her own making. She and Victor thought they were about to cash in on my life's work. But soon, they'd realize there was nothing left for them to take. A week later, Amanda's lawyer called mine, demanding a financial disclosure. That was the moment everything unraveled. On record, I had nothing. No assets in my name, no savings to seize, no property to split. Amanda went pale when she realized the house she'd been so eager to claim didn't legally belong to me anymore. Victor, furious, showed his true colors. He started pressing her for money, threatening to expose their affair if she didn't deliver. Their fairy tale romance quickly turned into chaos. Amanda begged me privately, trying to play the role of a desperate wife who'd been confused. She said we could work it out, that she'd made a mistake. But the image of her mocking me with Victor in those messages was burned into my memory. I looked her in the eye and said, "You didn't just cheat on me, Amanda. You tried to rob me. And now you've lost both." The divorce went through swiftly, with Amanda walking away empty-handed. She had to move into a small apartment, scraping by while Victor disappeared the moment the money dried up. The man she gambled our marriage on was nothing but a parasite, and she was left to face the reality of what she had done. As for me, I rebuilt my life with the assets safely protected. Chloe, our daughter, stayed with me most of the time, since Amanda's unstable lifestyle couldn't provide the home she needed. My dignity was intact, my future secure, and my heart finally free of the poison Amanda had tried to plant in it. Sometimes betrayal doesn't just end a marriage, it teaches you the cost of blind trust. Amanda thought she could manipulate me into ruin, but all she managed to do was ruin herself. And Victor? He vanished like the con man he always was, leaving her with nothing but regret. In the end, I didn't need revenge in the traditional sense. Watching them destroy each other while I stood firm was the sweetest justice of all.